In a world where carbs are your enemy, you need one man to help you fight your battles. That man is Jimmy.
Combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live, and we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. Here is how the fun begins. You hop on over to Instagram, and you follow me there live. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me. I'm at Living Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live in the content, just like Imperfectly Healthy and Joshua, and who is that? Adrillo, and Jen, and so many others are coming in right now to engage live. We also simulcast over here on Facebook Live, so thank you guys for being here on Jimmy Rants as well. You can watch the replay on Instagram for up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, it does disappear. You'll need to go check out all the past episodes up on YouTube. Type in a keyword Jimmy Rants on YouTube. You will find the show. Finally, the best of the best moments of this here show are in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast over on Apple Podcasts as well as Stitcher. All of these links, you guys, are at JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants is one of those ones that has always perplexed me. One of those issues. Because if you've ever had to go to a hospital for whatever reason, whether a friend or family member or yourself was hospitalized, you had to have a surgery done, some kind of a procedure, maybe you're visiting someone with ailing health, and you've gone to the hospital and you're spending time with the family member or friend, and then you're hungry and you decide, ooh, I want to go try to get something to eat from like the cafeteria that's there. And you go into the cafeteria and it's a whole bunch of crap. And that's if you're lucky, if they have a cafeteria. A lot of times all you're stuck with is a vending machine. And in the vending machine, it's sugary soda this, and maybe fruit juice because they think that's healthy. And of course, don't get me started on all the food choices that are available that are a lot less than ideal. But how cool would it be, you guys, if you went to a hospital and they didn't allow sugary soda? They didn't allow sugary fruit juice beverages. They didn't allow anything that it's obvious to everybody walking this planet is not good for you in terms of a beverage. Now, I'm going to extend this to food here in a minute, but we have that exact thing happened, you guys, where they have now banned the sale of sugary sweetened beverages at a hospital in West Virginia. This is the coolest thing in the world. So kudos to those of you that live in Reston, Virginia, because there is good news. They have banned the sale of soda and energy drinks and fruit juice and all of these really sugary beverages that if you're in a hospital, you're trying to get healthy. And so it's always been weird to me that they would offer all of this junk food at the very place where you're trying to get better in your health. So the name of the medical center is Jefferson Medical Center in Reston, West Virginia. And if you're just joining us, they have banned the sale of sugary beverages in all the cafeteria there, all the vending machines. There are no more sugary sodas, no more Capri Sun, no more fruit juices, no more energy drinks, nothing that's got sugar in it. And you want to know why that happened? You're going to find out here in a minute, and it's pretty exciting, and it has a ketogenic connection. So stick with me, guys. So visitors, staff members, and patients at the Jefferson Medical Center are no longer able to get soda and other sugar-laden drinks. This happened about 3 weeks ago. On a Sunday, the hospital stopped selling sugar-sweetened beverages, which includes regular soda, sugar-added fruit juices, sugar-sweetened teas, and sugar-added energy drinks, as well as flavored milks. When I was a kid in school, they always encouraged us to get milk. And of course, they had the 2% milk or the 2% chocolate milk. What did every kid in the world get unless they hate chocolate? They got chocolate milk. And so they've even gotten rid of flavored milk in its food services and vending machines, and will not routinely serve them to hospital patients. So if you've ever been hospitalized, you know that food that they serve you. Christine had 3 neck surgeries about like 10-ish years ago, like with over a 5-year period. She had 3 different neck surgeries. So she was hospitalized quite a bit for those surgeries. And the food that they served her, I was like, oh my gosh, can I please bring you something from home? Because it's just atrocious. Hospital spokeswoman Teresa McCabe confirmed all of these things are true. So here's why it happened, guys, and you need to know this guy's name. He's been a guest on the Livin' La Vida Low Carb Show podcast, my podcast, several times. He is a physician there at this hospital who is a fan of ketogenic diets. His name is Dr. Mark Cucuzzella. If you don't know who Mark Cucuzzella is, he's got the funkiest sounding last name, so it should be easy to remember. But Cucuzzella, Cucuzzella. That's how you say spell his last name. But Mark Cucuzzella, he's a family doctor, champion marathoner who has advocated for this change for years. I remember Mark told me many years ago, yeah, I'm trying to push for this getting rid of sugary soda and sugary drinks from our hospital. Because guys, think about it. What is synonymous with the hospital? People that are sick. What is synonymous with people getting sick? Making bad choices in their diet and lifestyle. And so if people are making bad choices in their diet and lifestyle to the point that they have to go to the hospital to try to get whatever the condition better through a surgery or whatever their reason is for being at the hospital, doesn't it stand to reason that that is ground zero for cleaning things up? That would be the first logical place to get rid of the very instigator of most of disease? Yeah. This is common sense. And it's finally happened. If you're just joining us, West Virginia, Reston, West Virginia, Jefferson Medical Center, it's a hospital there. They have just removed all sugar-sweetened beverages from their cafeterias and from the vending machines. You can no longer buy regular sugary-sweetened soda, sugar-added fruit juice, sugar-sweetened tea, sugar-added energy drinks, or flavored milk anymore. It's gone. Great step, right? So Dr. Mark Cucuzzella is the one that helped to instigate this change. He's been pushing for it for years. He likens the change to when the hospital first eliminated smoking from its campus. Remember, those of you that are of a certain age, when they used to allow smoking at hospitals? It seems so crazy now, right? Because we haven't had it in hospitals for a long time. And so this move to get away from sugary sweetened beverages in hospitals, one of these days we're going to look back on this and go, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? It only makes sense for the hospital to lead the way on sugary drinks, says Mark Cucuzzella. Sugar-sweetened beverages are the leading source of added sugar in the American diet and the biggest driver of West Virginia, as well as the United States obesity epidemic, as well as the diabetes and so many other chronic health problems, says Cucuzzella. He's also a professor at West Virginia University School of Medicine. If we want to improve the overall health of our communities, it has to start with the healthcare community. Well, hallelujah that we have someone speaking reason and logic in the midst of craziness. I mean, is it odd that we have sugar-sweetened beverages being sold so readily available in hospitals? The very place people are going to because they're drinking sugary sweetened beverages. I would dare say most of the diseases people get hospitalized for have a direct correlation to the sugary sweetened beverages that they're consuming. And if not sugary sweetened beverages, other carbohydrate laden foods, which I'm going to get to that issue here in a minute. So thirsty visitors and patients will still have a lot of options for beverages, including 0-calorie fruit-infused water, plain water, diet and 0-calorie sodas, 100% fruit juice, which still has sugar, but it's not like Sunny D where they add sugar to it. Unsweetened tea, regular and then decaffeinated coffee, as well as regular milk. That's pretty awesome. When Dr. Bradford Wright, an orthopedic surgeon at this hospital, ran into Dr. Cucuzzella in the hospital cafeteria, he quickly offered his support for the change. So here's an orthopedic surgeon who no doubt has dealt with a lot of surgeries of patients who have had the ramifications of really bad nutritional health choices, including sugary beverages. Wright, who requires patients to show evidence of weight loss before he will do any kind of replacement joint operation, said he is glad the hospital is putting health at the forefront. We're surprised that a hospital would put health at the forefront. You talk to most people and they think of hospitals as the place where health begins. That if you had some kind of an injury or some kind of a need for a surgery, that's where you get healthy again. And so why isn't a hospital the logical first place for leading the way on what would be healthy? Dr. Wright also said he urges obese patients to make changes in their diets, including cutting down on sugar, consuming more protein in their diet before they start to exercise to make sure that their new knee won't wear out more quickly because of excessive weight. Yeah, so we talked about that the other day when I did a Jimmy Rants on protein, that if you've had a surgery, that is your time to be eating a little more protein and getting collagen and gelatin and all kind of things to help rebuild the cartilage and stuff around that surgery. As a healthcare organization, our goal is to provide the best care to our patients, staff, and visitors, said Neil McLaughlin, the vice president of operations at this hospital. By offering only healthy beverage options, we have a tremendous opportunity to positively impact the health and the well-being of our entire community. Can you imagine if this caught on at every single hospital in the United States of America? Could you imagine that there would be hospitals that would no longer allow anything sugary on the campus? Now, here's part of the monkey wrench in this discussion. A lot of hospitals are getting funding from companies like Coca-Cola. And so they will put the logo of Coca-Cola, for example, on the hospital somewhere to indicate that they are huge corporate sponsors of those hospitals, which is always ironic to me. It's like, okay, we're trying to make people healthier, and yet Coca-Cola is able to use their wield their muscle of having financial marketing dollars to play with, that they would be willing to endorse a hospital. And don't get me started on things like Dunkin' Donuts being in a hospital or a McDonald's inside of a hospital. I've seen that kind of crap too, you guys, and it's disgusting. And I wonder, this particular hospital here, it didn't say anything in this story about whether there's restaurants and things in there like a McDonald's, but could you imagine if this did catch on in other places and they would enforce this no sugary beverage policy and there's a McDonald's in there? Is the McDonald's no longer going to be allowed to sell Coca-Cola? Nope. They're going to be able to sell sugary sweet tea? Nope. Going to be able to have anything sugary in the beverage? Nope. I would love that. The World Health Organization recommends individuals consume no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar a day. I don't think you need to have that many. And they're talking about added sugars. So this is on top of the naturally occurring sugars. How about we reduce total carbohydrate altogether to no more than 5 to 6 teaspoons of sugar worth of total carbohydrate? That would be about 24 to 30 grams of sugar or carbohydrate in a day. For most people, that would be relatively healthy. They don't all need to do that, but that would be great. On average, Americans consume 20 teaspoons of sugar, added sugar, per day. 20 teaspoons. That's 80 grams of sugar, you guys. On top of whatever naturally occurring sugars and carbohydrates they're eating. One 12-ounce can of regular soda contains, it says here, nearly 10 teaspoons of sugar. It's actually 11 teaspoons of sugar. Dr. Emma Eggleston, who heads the West Virginia University Medicine Center for Diabetes and Metabolic Health, she says the Jefferson Medical Center has already made significant patient, community, and staff changes using food as medicine and promoting healthy diets for those wishing to prevent and reverse metabolic illnesses like diabetes and obesity. And guys, again, if you missed it a little bit earlier, the reason this change happened, where they have removed sugary sweetened beverages from being sold at this hospital, Jefferson Medical Center in Reston, West Virginia. I just did a book signing there. Christine and I did a talk and book signing with the Keto United guys a couple of months ago. And so I've been to this town where this is. I would have loved to have gone to that hospital and seen this in action, but they had not implemented this yet at the time. But Dr. Mark Cucuzzella, kudos to Mark, because here is a doctor who gets it. Here's a doctor who understands the purpose of ketogenic diets and helping his patients get better. And we need more Mark Cucuzzellas out there that are willing to articulate, hey, look, we have a problem with obesity. We have a problem with type 2 diabetes. We have a problem with heart disease and cancer and Alzheimer's disease and all these other chronic diseases that are all related to insulin resistance. And what has exacerbated the insulin resistance? Sugary sweetened beverages is a huge culprit. But I want to go one step further. What if hospitals not only stop selling sugary sweetened beverages, but what if they also stop selling sugary sweetened foods? So this gets back to that vending machine example from earlier. Because every single hospital has these vending machines. And what's in those vending machines? A whole lot of crappy garbage. It's very rare that you'll find a hospital that has healthy, truly healthy options. How easy would it be for them to put like a mozzarella cheese stick option for people to buy? How hard would it be for them to have basically low carb, non-sugary type of options available? To me, it seems like the hospitals would be leading the way in this. Now, I know there's people waiting in the waiting room. They go over to look to get something and they want a candy bar because they're highly sugary addicted. But what if we flip the script? What if hospitals became the standard bearer for all other businesses? Because that's what they are. They're a business. All other businesses to follow. Because when you go to the hospital, you expect what they are representing there would be the best options for your health. But if you go to any hospital right now, that's not at all true. You go to hospitals right now and you see all this crappy garbage and it's normal to people. I don't think Doritos and snack cakes and little crackers and all that, I don't think that needs to be looked at as normal. That is food-like disease agents that no longer needs to be considered food. And yet, because they're in a hospital, it basically is getting the green light from people. Well, they serve it in a hospital. It must be healthy. And people know inherently they're not healthy. But whoa, nobody's batting an eye at this. How weird is it that we're here at the very place where people are trying to get their bodies right again after an injury and needing a surgery or whatever, and they're seeing crackers and cakes and cookies and all this kind of stuff and think that's normal. It ain't normal. It ain't normal at all. And I think if hospitals led the way, how cool would it be when you go to a hospital, you can't buy sugary anything, beverage or food. Sugar serves no good purpose in your health. Sugar is an empty calorie to the hilt, and sugar gives you really nothing positive in your health. It has all the downside and no upside. And so if there's no upside to consuming sugar, why is it offered in the very place that is supposed to be the hallmark of being and getting healthy? So I'm going to issue a challenge. I'm going to issue the Cucuzzella challenge. That's what we're going to call this. Dr. Mark Cucuzzella was the one, a family doctor in West Virginia. He just kept squeaking and squeaking and squeaking until the Jefferson Medical Center in Reston, West Virginia said, okay, shut up, Dr. Cucuzzella. We'll take the sugary beverages out. And I want to make this a thing nationwide. If you're a hospital administrator or someone that is a doctor that cares about the health of your patients in these hospitals, call for your hospital to do the same thing. How cool would it be, you guys, if hospitals across the United States implemented this no sugary beverage policy? And I would even say, let's go one step further. No sugary food or beverage policy. We could shake up the world. We could have such a profound impact on the health of people. And even if it's just the perception of when you come to the hospital, you're going to get the healthy stuff. It's a dream, I realize, and it's probably a pipe dream at this point. But I think it would be incredible if this became a reality. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. I'm going to come to Instagram first. I'll be over here to Facebook here in just a minute. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for being here. You are on fire today, says Alberto. Well, I'm trying to be, brother. I always try to bring my A game and bringing you guys some good quality content. I didn't think this was getting enough publicity. I have heard nothing. This should be nationwide news all over the national media, and I've heard nothing about this story beyond the little local story that was there in the spiritofjefferson.com newspaper. That's it. That's amazing, says JB. It is amazing. Yes, Kimberly Ranson, you were there at our event that we did in Ranson. Pretty cool, huh? Alberto said, what? A health organization that really cares about health? Nah, it's impossible. Yeah. Well, it's only because there was a fired up family doctor, Dr. Mark Cucuzzella, who decided enough is enough. Why are we continuing with this madness that is pushing crappy garbage when there's obviously a better way? Kimberly says, this is super exciting. It really is. Alberto said, do the products that have, quote, no sugar added, end quote, are they allowed under the small note? So, yeah, the foods would be, because this is only a policy about the beverages. But I'm hoping that once this gets implemented, they take it that one step further, because it makes no sense to remove sugary sweetened beverages from the sale in a hospital without doing the same thing with sugary sweetened foods. And maybe what Dr. Cucuzzella is waiting on is, okay, let that kind of sink in a little bit. Let this new policy kind of get going, and they realize how awesome it is to get rid of the sugary beverages. And then he can say, well, you know, it makes no sense if we got rid of sugary beverages that we don't also get rid of sugary foods. So maybe there's a little bit of incrementalism going on here. First things first, they got rid of the big culprit, and that's the sugary beverages, which is nothing but a good thing. Keto Bob says also on planes. Yeah, planes, and we're about to go on an international flight 1 week from today. Right now, we're going to be taking off a week from now. And yeah, airplanes are notorious for crap. And we fly first class in a lot of places. And in first class, they give you this little snack. Well, the little snack basket that they bring by is cookies and crackers and chips. And I'm going, where's the food? There's no real whole food, in these options. So I guess I'm paying for someone else's crap, having that upgrade in the first class. But anyway, it is what it is. Public schools is another place. Why do they have soda machines in public schools? I've never understood that one. Why have sugary beverages to these students that are trying to learn? Because that sugar will blunt their brain's ability to soak in everything. Anyway, that's a whole nother Jimmy rant for a whole nother day. Can regulatory agencies remove their operational permits? Talking about the things like Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's and stuff like that, because the hospital is denying their customers the recommended SAD diet. Oh, I see what you're saying, Alberto. Can regulatory agencies remove their operational permits because the hospital denies their customers, the patients, the recommended SAD diet? I don't know, Alberto. It's a good question. Now that they don't allow sugary beverages, I mean, they are a hospital after all, so they could flex their, hey, we know what's healthy muscle. But I don't know. That's a great question. I'm sure if that's a concern, it's going to come up. And if it comes up, I will certainly keep you guys abreast here on Jimmy Rants. All right, let's pop on over to Facebook Live, see what you guys have to say. Again, if you're just joining us, we are talking about this great news, you guys. They have gotten sugary sweetened beverages removed from a hospital, Jefferson Medical Center in Reston, West Virginia. And I'm asking the question, what if hospitals stop selling sugar-sweetened food and beverages? How cool would that be for them to lead the way all about this issue of sugar and its ramifications on our health? Let's see. Margaret says, when my children went to school in North Carolina, sugary sodas were not sold in the vending machines. That was 2006 to 2008. Yeah, when I was a kid, I grew up and went to high school in Pensacola, Florida, in my early part of high school. And I remember on the high school campus, they had like vending machine after vending machine after vending machine, and Coca-Cola after Coca-Cola after Coca-Cola machines as well. So they were everywhere. And I think with more attention being put on sugar and its impact on our health, some schools have started to remove them, but it's not widespread. But it's good to know that, 10, 15 years ago, they were already getting rid of them, at least in North Carolina. Hey, John, how are you, buddy? Thanks for being here. No need for those drinks and vending machines at hospitals or schools. Exactly, Kelly. And that's kind of my point. It's like hospitals are the place where people have the perception of, oh, they are the purveyors of all things regarding getting healthy. And you go there to get some surgery or procedure done that will ostensibly put you on the road to better health. To me, the best options would be get rid of all the sugary soda, and get rid of all the sugary drinks and sugary foods. How about offering some protein options? Because if you are recovering from surgery, that's what you need. You need those amino acids to help heal. Kimberly says a hospital equals health, and then a bunch of laugh emojis. Yeah, I'm saying that's the perception though, Kimberly, that when people see a hospital and think of a hospital, they think, oh, that's the place that you go to improve the health, get over the whatever the ailment is that you need to have a surgical procedure for. And of course, all these vending machines and cafeteria food and all that isn't necessarily for the patients per se. It would be the family of patients. But again, perception. The perception is you go to the hospital and they have the knowledge of all things health. Why aren't they leading the way by stopping the sale of sugary sweetened beverages like what has happened in West Virginia And I'm saying let's take it one step further and also remove sugary sweetened foods. Jessica says, my daughter used to beg to go to the hospital because they had the biggest black and white cookies. Yeah. Faculty break rooms are the worst, said Jessica, talking about schools. Yeah. I used to be a public school substitute teacher here locally in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And yeah, it's atrocious. School lunches. Ugh. Don't get me started. That's a whole nother rant for a whole nother day too. All right, Bonnie says, it's about time. Yes, Bonnie, this is great news. So guys, the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is let's think out loud and let's put pressure on hospitals to lead the charge. People already have the perception that hospitals have it all together when it comes to trying to make you healthy. So if hospitals can be the example and be the ones that lead the charge on getting rid of sugary foods from hospital vending machines and hospital cafeterias and make it a thing, how about that being a precedent for other organizations? I think that would be great. Alberto says, sometimes doctors give their recently operated patients a serum containing glucose, thinking it is the main source of energy. They remove that too. I bet hell will break loose with Big Pharma. Yeah, Alberto, you're right. They do that little sugar drip to give them, quote, energy. But what if you're a fat burner? I want MCT oil in my drip. So yes, I agree with you. I think that's a good point. Keto Bobs says, teachers are the worst. We try to stop them, but they keep buying sugary snacks as rewards. I've had some parents talk about, some keto parents say that they seemingly have a birthday party every week. And so, yes, they have all these treats, and then they have the birthday cake for Johnny this week and Susie next week and Sally the next week and Peter the next week. And it's like you're constantly sugarizing these kids. Kim says, this is a great start, hoping this becomes more common. Well, that's why I'm ranting about it here today, Kim. I wanted to make sure you guys knew this is big news. And it's sad that a hospital removing sugary sweetened beverages would be a thing that has to be news. This should just be common sense to get rid of sugar sweetened beverages. And I would say let's add on also fake, crappy, garbage, sugary sweetened foods as well. Get rid of the junk. Get rid of the junk. I think if we're ever going to make any inroads in this culture to make people healthier, we've got to stop normalizing crappy garbage. Because that's what it is right now. It's normal. Normal doesn't make it right. Normal isn't why we're going to be healthy. What should be the norm is real whole foods. And I realize vending machines that have to be refrigerated to accommodate real whole foods is more expensive. So be it. So be it. Do we want expensive food that keeps us out of the hospital so we don't have to go buy that crappy garbage they sell in the hospital? Or we want cheap food in the hospital and then down the road have to spend a lot of money in the friggin' hospital? Seriously. Schools encourage kids to bring mints to help them focus during tests. They don't differentiate. Lifesavers qualify. It makes me bonkers, yes. Someday, Jessica, someday. So guys, that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, you can engage live in the content right here on Instagram. I'm at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. We also simulcast live here over on Facebook. Stick around, you guys, for the Jimmy Rants after party. We'll be right back. Keto Bob says, just picked up cholesterol clarity to arm myself to battle my doctor trying to put me on medication. Sorry, off topic, but I wanted to thank you in advance. You're very welcome. And yeah, never stop learning. If you missed the live on Instagram, pop on over to Instagram. You can still watch it for up to 24 hours, but after 24 hours, it does disappear. That's when you need to go to YouTube, type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants. You will find the show there. Finally, we have the best of the best moments of this here show in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast on Apple Podcasts as well as Stitcher. Definitely, if you are on Apple Podcasts, we would love to have a few more reviews. I want to say we have something like 14 reviews, and I would like to get a whole lot more of those. So if you will take just a few moments to go to Apple Podcasts, type in Jimmy Rants, find the show, and leave us a review, that would really, really help us out. JimmyRants.com is the website with all the links to how you can access this show. So Instagram Live, until next time, we'll see you then.